Neki have a brand new song and I am 100% here for it, even though it's only come out as the audio version at the moment. Who knows if there'll be a music video? I have to check it out. There's few bands who I do this with where I love them so much that I can't even wait for the music video. I just want to dive in straight away because I can't go without hearing the audio. And so new song, I got to hear it. So obviously Neki, young band, have been coming up, just so impressive. They've been very much sort of filling this space where they do pop, they do rock, they do a beautiful combination of both. They show incredible musicianship for their age. Songwriting is brilliant. And at the same time, they're just able to beautifully bridge that gap between pop and rock. But I always feel that although they've gained a lot of fans from other bands like Band-Maid and such like, I feel like Neki have kept this quintessential sound of their own. You know, Neki sound like Neki. And it's so good to have that identifiable sound so early on. Now, I'll just quickly check in before we press play about the credits on this. And I can see some fantastic credits on here in that. Oh, wait, I just realized you're not going to be... You're not going to be able to see this. Let me just extend the screen over into my face a bit. So if we look over here, we've got the song was written... composed, lyricist and arrangement by Neki, but also with some extra composition and lyrical help by Mai, arranging credit by Yuki Tanabe. So this seems to be what you'd really want and expect from such a young band, which is they're writing their own songs, but they're getting help from people who are more experienced to make sure that the end product is in balance. Now, of course, with these things, you never know exactly who does what behind the scenes, but the fact that Neki have such a consistent sound makes me quite trusting that they're being allowed to express themselves. And I'm so excited. I can't wait to check this out. It's a new song. It's called OOAK. I'm guessing that's like OOAK? Who knows? I mean, the fact they got this like ransom note design makes me think that you're not supposed to be able to say that word anyway. Let's dive in anyway. I have no idea what to expect. And one of the great things about them, it could be like a really crazy musicianship song. It could be like something like Dreams, which is just straight up musical catchiness heaven. Who knows? Let's dive in. Yeah, let's talk more after the song. I'm loving that slightly mysterious Middle Eastern feel to the step up, step down. And that counter melody from the guitar as well, it's adding this really nice thick feel to it. Nailing that chorus again. Okay, by the way, I should be honest. The minute this started playing, I heard them play this live. So I heard a preview of this song when it was first being played live at their one-man show at Shangri-La. But man, it's so much clearer hearing it recorded. The backing vocal was cool. That's cool. I like how the backing vocal. I like how the backing vocal sped up underneath as well. That double kick work as well is really good. It's sort of hammering. I hadn't noticed that before, but yeah, the double... Sorry, not the double kick, but the four on the floor. The kick drum. counter between the two guitars is so cool. Like Hika and Natsu's guitar against each other. And listen, that counter melody changes again. This sounds much better than I thought it would have done from the original live performance. You can hear all of the parts, all the counter melodies, the backing vocals, everything's so much clearer. Oh. Do you know what? Even though I had heard that song, that maybe makes this even more of an interesting reaction because that impressed me a lot more than I expected. Look, okay, so I got to cover one thing. I often say that the great thing about hearing live music is because you go into a live performance and 9 times out of 10, probably more like 99 times out of 100, you already know the songs you hear. So when you hear them, your brain knows everything that should be there and kind of fills in the gaps. So live music primarily works because you're already familiar with the songs, which means when things get changed, it's exciting. When things are more raw, it's okay because it doesn't sound simple because you're in your head, you already know all the details, you've heard it in the recording. So often I say when I want to hear a song for the first time, I ask people to give me the studio version first of all, so I can really hear it in that context, that engineered, sort of designed, context where the artist has had the opportunity to put everything exactly as they wanted it, sat down with the engineers, the producer, and got the song sounding exactly how they dreamed before hearing the live version, which therefore gives you that rawness. Now, the interesting thing about this, I got to be honest, I'll be 100% honest with you, I've been a big Neki fan since pretty much day one. Really, just, I love what they do. And when I heard this song live and I realized, oh, this is a new song, it didn't click with me that it might be the one we were going to listen to today. But when I heard this live for the first time, I've got to be honest, I listened to it. I was like, okay. I was like, it's not really my favorite. It felt like a little bit like, one chord, like, oh, this is going to be something, this isn't going to be their best. It's all right. It's okay. It feels like it was maybe, okay, fine. Now I've heard it like this, it makes so much more sense. And this means that when I hear it live again next, hopefully sometime soon, save up for tickets. When I hear this live next, it's going to hit so much harder because I'm going to be able to feel the way it's supposed to sound in a way that, you need to hear, like these studio recordings, just the backing vocals clear and punchy, and you can hear the backing vocals coming across in that sort of clear way with the power they're supposed to, which can sometimes be hard to convey when you're singing and you're playing an instrument and also singing and shouting into a microphone, which is maybe not set up so well because it's not the lead singer microphone. So you lose that bit of power. You lose some of the power of like the interplay between the two guitars because often the guitars are not quite as clearly to work out in a live house as they are when you hear them in the recording. And there's so much of this song is made of the interplay between the guitars. I love that. I've always said this, it's the best lead guitarist. It's not down to solos. It's down to those bits where you're listening to the music and just like the bass line, the guitar is just picking out this really interesting counter melody that's thickening up the arrangement and making everything sound so bigger than if it was just strum, sing. I love that that's so audible here and you can hear the fantastic work that she's doing. Like she's adding these wonderful lines in there. The drum line as well, very simple line, but for the best part, very simple. But I've said this, she's got this amazing ability to do these really simple drum lines, but just the perfect beat in the perfect place. And the bit where she's sort of doing the boom, 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 that sort of like kicks on every beat kind of drum beat. That's weird that's usually the sort of thing where that kind of beat works in a strangely small amount of occasions, but here it's just where the song was quite simple. It just sort of like I kept the heartbeat sort of feeling at the bottom, kept the sort of the rhythm of the song felt more tense because she had lots more kicks in there. I said double kick, it wasn't a double kick, but it was just a constantly patting on the kick on every single beat. That sort of that feeling just added this sort of like metronomic sort of tension underneath, which a song like that, because the majority of the song is kind of going one chord up and then back down and up and then back down. It's not a particularly complicated chord pattern for the best part. It's the kind of chord pattern that could get boring if you didn't work around it. But by having that chord pattern goes up and then back down and up and back down, and then adding a beat which is very tense and is keeping things going, you get that it's kind of adding this sort of tension, this energy that's building up, and then you're adding like detail and making it more interesting by having that counterplay, that guitar line. Then you've got a vocal line which is kind of smooth and gentle, but builds up to a much more rousing and hey kind of chorus. It's really good. It's sort of this running tension that's built up beautifully to a really a powerful chorus. I thought this was fantastic. I really like this. I thought this was great. Sorry, my phone keeps on making noises. Apologies about that. But I thought this was very different from any songs I've done before, but still identifiably Neki, which is what you want. It is much better than I had originally expected. If I'd known this had been that song, I would have been approaching this with a degree of tension, which maybe would have made me like it even more. But yeah, hearing how good it is. But this was a song, when I heard it live, I was unsure about it. I was like, it's good, but it's not great. Now hearing it like this, it makes much more sense. Really enjoyed this. Thought it was fantastic. As always, though, get in the comments to tell me what you think. And until I hopefully see you very soon in Japan for the next one of these. For now, ciao, ciao.